Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. Let's jump straight into this one, man. I got to get my butt in the shower and get to bed. This is from Mikkel. It says, I was one of the first people calling Senator Loomis a crypto fraud. So this is from Paul Barron Network. It says, sad to see that Senator Loomis was really just a wolf in sheep's clothing. Listen into this.
We thought that she was, championing the future of blockchain and innovation. And that, of course, is Cynthia Lummis and her betrayal to the blockchain industry. Listen in.
Senator Warner, this is an area where crypto is being used to finance terrorism. Let's get after Binance and Tether. These are offshore companies that are financing illicit activities and terrorism. That's why today I sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland asking the Department of Justice to wrap up its investigation and consider criminal charges against Binance and Tether for their involvement in illicit finance.
These are the things that irk me the most, is people that seem to have themselves educated on the situation and at the same time either one, get influenced by others, most likely someone that's in their back pocket, in funding these kinds of statements, into the essence of really where all of this is core from, and that is fiat. It's coming through these bank systems, through these shell corporations, through these actors that we already know about. They haven't been able to stop it yet, and they think that this micron, this small micron of blockchain activity, remember, this is a $1 trillion market, they think this is going to make a difference, and she's over there spouting. Now, I'm not a big fan of either of these in either way, but the point that she's flipping on us like this is what really upsets me the most.
Well, that's the thing. It's not just like this all of a sudden flip. This is thing that people in our community, the XRP community in particular, has been kind of shouting from the rooftops, for some time now. Even Mr. Tudiv, Trumors Only says, I was the second person calling out Senator Loomis as a crypto fraud, right? A wolf in sheep's clothing. And JD saying, Crypto Eddie called her out some time ago. Yeah, I mean, this has kind of been a thing. I mean, where's this video at? Let me make sure I got this video. I didn't even put it up here. But yeah, there was another video clip where, in one clip, she's stating, oh, crypto or digital assets are commodities. And then, on this next clip, it was like an interview with her and this other gal, and they were talking about the securities laws and how, you have Howey and how these things are securities. It's like, come on, man. Where is the solid representation in these positions of power, right? Why is it that the little guys got to band together like a bunch of ants, right, to fight this good fight and lift up this weight off of our shoulders or off of our necks in particular, so this space can thrive, man? It's crazy. Even look at the likes of this right here. So this is from aufinance.yahoo or whatever. Cowboy Crypto put this up, says U.S. Treasury to borrow $776 billion in Q4 2023. So I've heard a bigger number than this, especially with this whole, obviously you have Russia, Ukraine, and then you have stuff that's going on, elsewhere. I'm not going to get into all the particulars, but obviously, they're talking about, support here. We got to fund this for that. And where are we going to get the money? There's so much crazy stuff going on. What do you think that does? It points more light and sheds more light on Bitcoin, crypto, digital assets. They see where this space is going. And just like Paul Barron said, like, this is such a small market. This industry is very small, 1.32 trillion, which we're up, from the past few months. But it's like, this is literally a speck on the radar when you really think about it. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars in other markets, quadrillions being moved all the time. Like, it's merely interesting, but people are seeing, just like, even though I felt like there was some sort of narrative behind it, but even when the gentleman from BlackRock, Larry Fink, came out always talking about, people are seeing, this is a flight to safety. They're seeing this as an asset of, hey, this is the future. This is where my wealth can be preserved and appreciate, not depreciate, and let inflation and all these crazy other things, the money printer, ruin the wealth that I've worked so hard to earn. Hey, pretty soon we're going to be like, man, I remember when, that market cap was $1.32 trillion. I remember personally back in, was it 2018 or 19? I can't remember. It was like 2019. I think it was like 100 billion. And for me, I was like, dang, we got that low. And like now looking at it, I'm like, man, I'm glad I was accumulating then, to be honest. We're gonna move on. This is an interesting one. It's from Cypress right here. It says, "This is not a drill. Watch this before they delete me on TikTok again. Always showing you all the devil is in the details. Share this video. You hold utility." Listen into this.
You know how I've been telling you all countless times in the past that they are attempting to steer people away from the digital asset space, right?
3 weeks ago, many were calling for the death of crypto and digital assets in the U.S. with the SEC.
Having SAB 121, it makes it harder for banks, who are the entities that are kind of most suited to bringing stability to the digital asset industry. It kind of keeps them out.
Amongst the mainstream media platforms, you never really see any positive fundamentals sweeping the mainstream headlines.
Well, not too much is out there in the public in terms of reports by the media, but you see in the background when you talk to people over beer, for example, or in the background what people are working on, you see that many parts are moving. You see that banks are employing more people in the field. You see consulting companies employing people. So
and I think the interesting thing about this is what makes the noise. So I've been, Helen knows my thoughts on all of this, is that bad headlines are always the ones that are going to sell the papers and shift the news channels around it.
We must keep in mind that the stuff that you read in the papers, no offense, Bloomberg, it's much easier to report on stuff that goes wrong than to report on all the stuff that's going right.
Things that are actually happening behind the scenes, ongoing developments that are happening positively during this crypto winter. What they're trying to do is they're attempting to shake people out of this space. As always, do your research. They tell you well in advance what's happening, and they also tell you well in advance that there is a massive amount of disinformation amongst mainstream media platforms.
Where you and Broadbridge, are you seeing the move to DLT-based platforms occur?
Yeah, I think it is. It's funny because with sort of the implosion of the crypto market last year, I think the general public is sort of thinking like, oh, well, this stuff is going away. Mm-hmm. And, when you talk to people in the know in financial services, it's like, no, it's not going away. Yeah, it's very real.
You know how?
Yeah, it ain't going away. And even from just like the XRP community in general, right? Think about all the stuff that we as a community, in particular, we have a lot of solid soldiers and sleuths that really dove deep into a lot of stuff. Like, think about all the shady stuff and the corruption we've uncovered. Think about how long those shady actors have been spewing this narrative and shedding negativity on XRP and Ripple the company. Like, imagine if, just like, the sheep that's out there, we're not the sheep. We're opening our eyes and ears and we're educating ourselves, right? But think about if we took it at just like the sheep that are out there or that are listening to what Bloomberg and, what these mainstream media outlets are spewing, right? There's no way we would have stayed strong and banded together as a decentralized community to come up and surface the truth and fight the good fight, right? We would have just been like, oh, Ripple and XRP is a scam because, Bloomberg or Fox is saying this or Jim Cramer saying that, whatever the case is, right? But no, we educate ourselves and we surface the facts that are not in dispute. And that's, in a sense, that's a major thing in regards of corruption and suppression and just blatant market manipulation, right, in this space. But I'm saying that is just a portion of what this space has to its story, if you will. So think about it. How much more stuff, like this gentleman saying, and just like all the clips that we're kind of expressing, is like, it's easier to talk about the negativity, but it's not as clickbaity or as enticing to talk about the good that's happening. And just like Ripple the company, Brad Garland House, Chris Larson, and Stuart Alderati and the whole Ripple crew, right, with the SEC on their necks, breathing down their necks and just strangleholding them and choking them out, right, in this lawsuit, they grew over 8 times in their business in Ripple, right, in their partnerships. That was during the lawsuit. I mean, obviously, we know at this point they probably have a lot of undisclosed partnerships that would probably, double, triple, quadruple, who knows, that growth that they had said, in the middle of or the midst of the lawsuit. But that just goes to show you, like, those are things that aren't normally sensationalized or talked about in the mainstream media, and that's what's being missing. That's the missing link that the so-called sheep, or they try to manipulate a smaller fish or smaller investors into blinding us from what's actually happening. Crypto isn't going anywhere. Digital assets isn't going anywhere. We need a framework, a regulatory framework that allows this space to thrive and flourish. They're just trying to get a bigger piece of the pie. And like this gentleman said, they're trying to get us to dump our bags so they can buy them. They're trying to FUD us out. But no, we got to educate ourselves. And I think the Bearable Bull hit some stuff on the head as well. Right here it says, the crypto market is going to do something special in the next few months. For those that went through FTX, Luna Collapse, Coinbase and Binance lawsuits, Tether, USDC depegs, Operation Choke Point, alts collapsing 99%, a hostile SEC, and Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army. You all deserve generational wealth and the blessings that are about to come. Facts. Facts. I mean, we're right there. I mean, we're sitting at a 66 on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. We're only sitting at a 1.32 trillion market cap. Bitcoin's only at 34,263, which is great, but this is merely interesting when we zoom out and really see where this thing's headed. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of when, not if. Ethereum sitting at just under 1,800. XRP sitting at 57.5 cents. Let's go. That's progress. If Dark Defender's right, man, we could be pushing up to that 60-cent mark, right? BC Backer's been putting out some great content as well. I mean, we gotta keep chugging along and just, I don't know, be patient. That's kind of my strategy. I mean, I've held this long and accumulated this long. Hey, I can wait a little bit longer. It's all good. But that's what I have for you. Keep your eyes open. Stay strong out there. Seriously. Make sure you come to the Crypto is Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe, follow us on X at Crypto is Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there, you guys. I truly do. I can't wait till this community grows more. I know it's hard for me to post now, but hey, we're going to do what we got to do, and I'm going to keep bringing you stuff, okay? Yeah, appreciate you guys. Stay strong out there. Be safe.